Okay, well, welcome. Many of us have been closely watching what is happening with Chinese travelers since the country widely reopened earlier this year. And I don't want to miss the opportunity to say, certainly, if you want to learn more about that, I encourage you to look at PhocusWire's travel market report for China that just came out in August, has very detailed market sizing and projections. But right now, what we are focusing on is talking about these Chinese travel companies and some of your plans about expansion overseas. And it seems to be that some of this desire to expand, I would say, is due to two things, possibly. The desire to grow, of course, in general, but then also some of the competitive and tough conditions at home. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to expand? How hungry are you? And maybe Nancy, you can start us.
Right. I wouldn't say 10. It's like probably 8.5.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying that is because where we started our business is from China. So like this year after pandemic, everything is trying to recovering and back to the normal. And then there's also a very good chance for us to pick up our own volume. Actually, that's the volume we already have before the pandemic. So we did put some of the efforts and technology and everything on picking up our own market. And in the meantime, because during pandemic, we get survived from many overseas partners and overseas business. So it's still, now it's like not only China, but the whole world is recovering.
Yeah.
So then it's also we run in parallel. It's like we are trying to global expansion, but also we need to take care of our own market as well.
Okay. All right. And we'll certainly talk a bit more about that. Rikin, how about you on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Actually, when Dida start our company in 2012, we are working quite closely with global players because we send a lot of Chinese overseas. So at that time, we know the global market. And we start to do really go overseas since 2017 or 18. At that time, we try to get more client in overseas. In the past, we only have the client in China.
Right.
Yeah, so at that time, we found out, the world is much bigger than China. Yeah, so cannot stop now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we will certainly talk in more detail about some of the strategies that you're using. And Simeon.
On the scale of the priority, I don't like say 7. But however, if there is another scale of the importance, I will say it's 10. Because we don't have too much presence in the non-Chinese market at this moment. But I think the overseas market and the China market are both important to us.
Okay. And I also want to mention Soo-Hyun has offered to take questions on her WhatsApp, as she has been with some of the other sessions. So certainly if anybody has questions for our panelists, let us know, and we will try to get those asked. So let's talk a bit more about some of your growth strategies. So Rikin, I know that in August, you added some business development directors in Brazil and Mexico.
Yeah.
And you also, earlier this month, added a head of destination marketing to your team to work with DMOs around the world.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that and then where you see the greatest opportunities for growth.
Okay. Actually, that we start from hotel business. And we start the fly B2B business since 2021 because we're thinking that at that time it's a good timing to start this new business. And then we start the tour and activity B2B business in last year. So there's the different product that we are steadily increase to our business. And when we're talking about the expanding in global, actually we care a lot about the size of the market. Yeah, our priority to go overseas, we wanted to find the big market first. And then we get in this market and step by step to expand into globally.
Okay.
Yeah. So although we are from China, China is already a big market. But just like I say, the world is much, much bigger. And we find a lot of opportunity in a lot of places, especially that we are a tech-driven company. So in this part, when we expanding in globally, the tech can help us a lot.
Right.
Yeah, can very easier to get inside the market and get the client. Yeah, that's the part how we expanding in global.
So, and clearly you see some opportunities then in Latin America.
Yeah, it's also a huge market. But actually, our American market is not doing that well yet. Yeah, but we will spend much more effort in the next several years in this market. Yeah.
Okay. Simeon, we know that Alibaba Group has made some big investments here in Southeast Asia, $845 million into the e-commerce brand Lazada in July. How is Fliggy viewing opportunities in Southeast Asia? And certainly, you know, there's a lot of competition here.
Yeah, definitely I think Southeast Asia, first year is a very important destination for Chinese outbound travelers. And for our global expansion, as I said, we don't have too much presence at this moment to serve the non-Chinese customers, but definitely in our future plan, I don't think Lazada will be a key partner with us because we will work with the AIDC, which is Alibaba International Digital Commerce. It's also our sibling companies in the Alibaba ecosystem. So we will work very closely to launch maybe our travel services in the Southeast Asian market.
Do you see any potential acquisition or investment opportunities that might interest you?
I think that will be an option, but not necessary to do that because I think if we go global, I think there are several options. First year's acquisition, second years we build our own sites from the greenfield, and third years we work with our partners, key partners such as AIDC, Lazada, as I mentioned. I think maybe the first step years we work with Alibaba ecosystem partners, and then for the acquisition investment you said, maybe it's one of the options we will consider.
Okay. So Nancy, your global mix really accelerated during the pandemic. I understand overseas agents account for up to 80% of your business, and compared to 20% from China. Your presence is already relatively strong in Southeast Asia. So what markets are interesting you for growth?
I would say well, as Ricky said, the world is much, much bigger. So now we are trying to explore more Europe and the American markets.
Okay.
And towards those markets, everything is quite different from the APAC market. So we'll be more technology oriented, and then we need to find more the different entry point that into those markets, and then to find out some outstanding or different solutions for our partners that can be cooperate with us. So that's something we are looking for, and we are striving for giving them something they don't have now in hand, then to enter those markets.
So you mentioned Europe specifically. Are there other parts of the world that you're really looking at closely?
Currently, we are not in touch yet in Latin American, so more in the North American and Europe, Middle East as well. And
Okay.
We have some partners already in Middle East, so we are learning from each other. And but it's from this year and then to next year, we put more attention and efforts for Europe and the American markets.
Okay. And then, Rikin, I guess I would ask you how you're viewing Southeast Asia and maybe what value you see that Dida can bring to some of the travel suppliers here.
I think the first thing is tech, because actually I'm not really that before I found Dida. I'm not in travel industry. I'm in the a financial industry. At that time, we see the tech in financial industry is quite advanced. But when I get into the travel industry, I found out actually a lot of players, especially in Southeast Asia, they are still on the way from paper to computer. Yeah, the tech is really affect a lot, especially these 2 days we are talking about the topic AI, the next generation. If you don't have the tech, in the future, maybe the business will getting harder and harder. So for Dida, we are a tech-driven company, so we're thinking we can do something to help our partners in the tech part. That's the first part. The second is that to give them more client from China.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are the #1 in China, so we know a lot of demand. We get a lot of demand, and we can send this kind of demand to the local partners. Yeah, so this is a two part. We think at least we can give our partners in Southeast Asia.
Okay, let's move our discussion a bit from geographies to products. So Simeon, I know Fliggy has had some good success with your product innovations, with your flagship stores, providing your suppliers direct-to-consumer opportunities. What are you seeing there, and why does this work?
First, we have a bunch of very innovative products. Flagships are definitely just one of them. It's important because Fliggy as an open platform, which we deliver value to the merchant, to the travel brands, not only the distribution value as traditional OTA does, but we also provide the opportunity for the brands, for the merchant to direct communicate to the users and do marketing on our platform and accumulate their digital assets, which is very crucial in the future for the travel brands. So that's why I think this flagship store model is very interesting to the travel brands, and it's a great success. And also some, as an example about our very interesting products, such as the flight tickets, which is all you can fly.
Yeah.
We launched that kind of products in our pandemic season, but it's not still very popular among all the customers. And because it's a very innovative one, because it turns into dynamic pricing flight tickets products into a fixed price, which is help the airline to secure future cash flow and increase their revenue in the off-peak seasons, and also very popular among the customers because the average cost for their travel year is much lower. So I think in the first 9 months of this year, we sold over 1 million such kind of products.
Do you see that as something that will have appeal outside of China as well? I mean, certainly we've seen other, airlines and things that have come up with some subscription type of products like that. Do you see something like that having some legs to be able to go, popular elsewhere?
Yeah, sure, definitely. And we work with some airlines outside of China during the pandemic season. And we set something that once the border is open, you can book your tickets from that, and it's quite successful.
Okay. So Nancy, I know, obviously flight routes, built into the name there, clearly you built your success on flights, but this year you also added hotels. I understand, I assume maybe this is the latest figure, about 400,000 properties that you have, is that right? Why did you decide to make the move into hotels?
Well, it's, we actually still very focused on our flight products firstly, but the main reason why we is not moving is just add the hotel contents into our category. That's only because we want to provide our clients one-stop shopping platform. Right. So when we explore many new customers or existing customers, they might be more interesting in our flight products. It's we have built up for 8 years, and we have solid and very rich products already for flights. And then in the meantime, then why they need to work with different partners, like one for hotel and one for flights or something like that. And then we think about probably we can also provide the hotel contents products for our customers for a one-stop shopping platform.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an add-on products, but we're also trying to be competitive and to better serve our customers.
Okay.
Mitra,
Yes.
We have a question here for Fliggy. So given Fliggy is a marketplace, what support do you provide to new merchants that want to open a Fliggy store, and how do you manage fraud and unauthorized sellers? Maybe the last question, how do you manage fraud and unauthorized sellers?
First, now we are an open platform, which means we have a very sophisticated way to help the merchant to do business on our platform. So we help some traditional OTA business on our platform as well. If you are not that digital operation ready, you can be our supply partners to be a supply to our OTA model. But if you are more digital ready, you can open the flagship store directly on our platform, and you can directly communicate with the customers. And if you are not that comfortable, but you still want to have your brand direct to the customers, we will have some other services such as technical services to support you to do your own business, to help you to accumulate your own customers.
Yeah, and you just recently, I know, added some support services then, correct? To help businesses that want to be more effective with their shops and things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, Nancy, you have just explained to us about your decision to add hotels. So now, Rikin, on the flip side, you built your success on hotels, but now you've added flights with a B2B flight booking portal, about 500 airlines. Tell us a bit more about that decision.
Okay. I think what Dida decide to start a new line of the business, I think all come from the demand of the client. Actually, Dida have more than 25,000 offline travel agencies. They are working with us. And the day one, since Dida start, actually most of them, they ask us whether we can give them a one-stop platform that can book hotel, flight, and tour activity. But we think at that time, we need more concentrated to hotel, and then we are not prepared well to extend more like a new line business. So at that time, we didn't start. But in 2021, we thinking it's a good timing because we found a good team. Yeah, and also we found out that when the pandemic gone, the agent come back, it's very difficult for them to immediately to get a good supplier, not only hotel but flight. So we thinking that okay, we should do it to give our client more value in this part. So we step by step and fly and then to an activity. Maybe in the future we'll get more. Yeah.
Right. So any advice for each other then, any advice for him as dealing with flights or for her with hotels?
We can cooperate. we can be the supplier for each other to help to enrich products for each other.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, this has come up in other sessions, and certainly something we've covered quite a bit, is this idea that the experiences and the activities that people are doing on their trips is becoming much more of the determining factor in planning travel. So will we be seeing more effort, really any of you that want to respond, about integrating activities and experiences?
So in terms of the activity and this experience, actually, Fliggy is a well-loved outbound travel brand among Chinese young customers. And we actually have given the nature of our marketplace and open platform, so we have a very sophisticated travel offerings about activities and the experience products. And after the pandemic, we do put a lot of effort on rebuilding the supply chain, helping the merchant to relaunch their business on our platform. And I see the business coming very quickly.
Do either of you have any plans? Did you mention you have activities?
Yeah. We just start. So we are still learning. But the thing is high potential in the future. Because when we come back the travel industry, FIT, we can see that flight is the first one, the digitalization's level is very high. And then we see like 10 or 15 years ago, it start from the hotel industry.
Right.
And in now until the future, many years, we think that the tour and activity have a high potential to go in more digitalizations. Yeah, so that's a high demand and high potential.
Okay.
It's a high demand for activities. We are in the discussion, but we are now, what we found out is some of the companies concentrate on their activities, want to expand to flight, expand to hotels, and we are expanding to different parts of the travels, and then how we differentiate from each other is the future.
Yeah.
So let's see what's happening. It's like people still like booking on different apps, or they prefer booking on one app.
Yeah, that's the big question, I guess, right? So let's talk a bit about payments. I know, Simeon, tell us a bit about how Fliggy is working with Alipay. You know, certainly the payment piece is a really critical piece as far as making the travel experience better for the consumers.
Yeah, because back several years ago, Alipayers, we have some global strategy which Alipayers more focused on the Chinese outbound payment, and Fliggers more focused on the global travel. So we are naturally partners, and the partnership will keep going. However, we are also exploring potential partnership with other payment solutions outside of the Ali ecosystem.
Okay. Other than some maybe industry-specific challenges that you have mentioned, what are some other challenges that you have faced as you have been looking to expand? Rikin, maybe you can start with that. As you're looking at more global expansion.
Yeah, two parts. One part is culture. Yeah. Now Dida have more than 25% as a foreigner employee to our company. And different country, different culture is not easier that to make it very smoothly. So we need to very care about this. The second is the efficiency of the organizations. Yeah, as the team getting bigger and bigger, and they are all over the world. They are located all over the world. The efficiency become a big problem. For example, we wanted to have a meeting in Europe and in US and in China. It is very short time that you can make this happen.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a two challenge we are facing. Yeah.
Nancy, how about you?
The first part I agree with Rikin is culture. Culture, not even, between Europe, US, or APAC, even just like in Asia countries, still encounter some of the cultural differences. And like Rikin says, like we have different time zone, and we have then we have to work in different time scale to fit into everyone into the same zone to talk and discuss about that. And also, I think language is probably another, not kind of the barrier, but it's still something like can reflect the efficiency. It's like sometimes it's like when people express their feelings or express it's like you need to fully understand what the customer exactly needs. And I think there are some very deep understanding of the language as well. So, and then also, efficiency into different cultures would be also a challenge as well.
You know, a topic, of course, that we have been talking a lot about across the industry and around the world really is around diversity and inclusion and how diversity is handled in the workplace. Anything that you are seeing there or anything that your organizations are doing to build a more diverse and inclusive organization globally?
In this part, actually, we're still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a thing can immediately build up. And we found out is one thing quite important is about the tools. That are you using the digital tools to help them, everyone working together? It's quite important because different people in different countries, they are different logic to work and different culture to work. But sometimes if you have a very good OA system, to make it on the same platform, it can make the organizations more efficiency. Yeah, that is a part we are do a lot of effort in.
Okay.
Mitra, we have a question here. Some curiosity as to whether NDC affects any of you.
NDC? Not I would say not a fact. I would say it's going to be an opportunity. And because, well, in the past, GDS are dominant in the industry. But now it's like airlines are open, like doing NDCs, and then we are aggregator. And then we can also provide those like technologies for our clients. And then this part, we can be like same or compete with GDS on the same level. So for us, I would say it's a good opportunity to actually export the global market.
You know, my goodness, our time is going so fast. I want to talk a bit about Chinese travelers. Certainly, I said at the beginning, that's something everybody's been closely watching, what's going to be happening with travel patterns. And, you know, really, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Chinese traveler maybe is a bit of a misnomer because it's really a very diverse marketplace there, right? You have backpackers, you have ultra wealthy. Since our theme here is the human revolution, can you share one data point about the Chinese consumer behavior that might be helpful for the audience? And Simeon, maybe if you want to start.
Yeah, I want to share the number that actually the Chinese passport holder is now 130 million, which is less than 10% of the total population. And if we count the travelers who really have the overseas travel experience, the number is even less. And also according to McKinsey's report, in the next 5 years, there were an additional 5 or 50 million mid to high-end consumers will be there. So actually, there is a huge untapped market for the Chinese outbound traveler.
Yeah, well, as we heard Hermione share earlier from Google, that had the highest savings of any nation during the pandemic. So certainly there is going to be a lot of spending power there. Rikin, anything that you want to share as a data point?
Yeah, I wanted to share data about short video, like a TikTok, short video. Two numbers. One is 1 billion. Yeah, now they have the user in China, more than 1 billion user. They are the user of this kind of short video. And the second number is 2.5 hours per user per day. That is a time every user spend every day. Wow. So we can see that this short video really affect a lot the consumer, their decisions. For example, where to go, what destination is good. Yeah, even though everyone knows that some people they care about a lot. They care a lot about the safety of the country, and a lot of people they don't see the traditional media. They only come from this short video. So it's quite important in our industry to care more in this short video. That's the future.
Very interesting. Yeah. And Nancy, what would you like us to know?
I just can share something relevant to my industry. I would say for Chinese outbound travelers, like over like at least 80% of the international tickets are sold online. So apart from the group bookings, just a few, really a few like international ticket bookings made offline. Okay. So it's like the online percentage is very high in China.
And probably only going to grow, right? Mm-hmm. That's only going to increase. Okay, as we are wrapping up, I want to get to some of these kind of human test questions that have been so interesting that we've been hearing Soo-Hyun share. So, Simeon, maybe if you can start us off on what quality about yourself do you value the most, and what quality do you value most in others?
Calm, I would say, about myself, and be nice to the others. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Rikin?
Happy. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and the thing I need to improve is patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say you value most in others? Anything?
Sorry?
What you value in others was happy, what you value in others, or what you value in yourself? I
think still happy is.
Yeah.
Because just like the topic these 2 days, no one know in the future what the AI will development. But as a human being, I think we have our emotion. Emotion is quite important. You should be living happily every day. And if you are not happy, why you still here, right? So, okay.
That's a great message. Sure.
And I would say experience. I mean, everything, for me, I really value the experience. Even, I mean, for starting, during the Flight 24, we started from like 5 or 6 people, and then now it's like over 200 employees. And then the experience for me, and I value it very much. Before starting doing the company, personally, I realized I might success or I might be failed, but that's experience. So that's still the value for my life.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Simeon, Rikin, and Nancy, thank you so much. Thanks.